welcome to Sports Capri with me here, Adi and Rishi. And guys, the first set of quarterfinal fixtures are done. Spain have gone through against Germany, and then the other fixture we saw Portugal bow out to France in penalties. It was two games that went deep. Both of them went into extra time, and of course the game between Portugal and France went into penalties. We'll discuss Spain Germany first. It's not probably a big shock because Spain were doing well, but Germany, I think a lot of people would have put them to go through comfortably, at least to the semis or the finals. But that hasn't happened because they ended up playing Spain. And dude, Rishi, I think in the end, Spain comfortable. I mean, like it was a good performance, not a comfortable win. Quite end to end the game from what it looked like. What did you make of it?
I mean, it seemed like Nagelsmann wanted to take the game to Spain in more like a physical manner rather than just trying to out football them. Like you could see that with the changes as well, like Emre Can coming into midfield and how like they were putting pressure the minute any of the Spanish players were getting the ball on the half turn or like with their backs against the goal, you could see them like going hard at it. Like that's like half the time Cruz ended up like following in late or tackling, and I don't know how he ended up getting a yellow card only like in the second half of the game. I think like
Bro, he
the
made
first
like 8, 9 tackles
exactly,
the entire game.
and after that also I'm seeing he's breaking counters, he's stopping, he's like
Exactly.
I'm like
And
I
he
don't
did
know
it
what
consistently the entire game. It was not like one
exactly.
moment.
I was like
Like,
how did
remember that in the first half, the first two tackles, like literally in the beginning of
the
the game.
the one to Pedri and the one where he
Yeah,
stepped his
Yama.
foot on his
Exactly.
bro.
That
That's
is such a good one. Yeah.
I'm like, how does that like because he sent Pedri in the air? Like I don't know how that like that and like did not get a yellow card and
Bro,
then
at least like the Pedri tackle, he got a bit of the ball. So I think if it was in the D, maybe you wouldn't get a penalty because he gets a bit of the ball.
a
But
bit of
then
the ball.
literally next second he goes and stamps like Yamal on his
Dude,
foot,
yeah,
like
exactly.
stopping,
He
and
stands.
he has no intent to win the ball. I don't know how, like at least the entire phase it was literally the first 2 minutes of the game. I don't
Dude,
know how
and
he didn't get booked.
I'm fairly sure he's gone into double figures like in terms of fouls. Like I don't know how
And
one person like gets
yeah,
away without getting
remember
a second
the
yellow.
end of the game where he also literally kicks Oyazabal in front of the D.
Oh yeah, exactly.
He says no foul, play on, and he's asking for a handball. Referee's like play on, play on, play on. I'm like,
And then
bro,
he seemed to be complaining when like in the middle of the game he just sits down and he's looking at the ref like stop the game and like what like he is like everything is going his way. I mean, moving on from Cruz, like
Five
overall
fouls for Cruz.
five fouls.
He
bro,
got the
that is
game.
because referee didn't give a lot of fouls which he fouled. So
Like
technically,
But
like
yeah,
2, 3
anyways.
fouls.
it was like
Yeah.
it was like watching me play football when I started out. I'm just going around like Pac-Man, going and belting people, bro. It's
That's
like
still you,
no
bro.
difference.
That
That's
does
still
not change.
still
That
you're the
still
same.
happens.
That
Bro,
still
stop it.
happens.
Now I get the ball. Like now I get the ball.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of the man. That's it. And anyway,
Literally.
like Spain, they seem to have the like Germany on their toes whenever the ball went to the wingers. Like Nico Williams and Yamal were like terrifying their like their front line. Like anytime Yamal got the ball, both Raum and like Jonathan Tah kept backtracking. They just didn't know how to cope with them, and that's what I think brought Germany back into the game when De La Fuente got off both the wingers. Like I felt that was a little bit premature because he then goes on to take Morata also out. Like he has no out. Like Spain had no out ball whatsoever, and that's where I felt like Spain were. I don't know what that was. That was pretty premature. So anyway, that was a brilliantly worked goal, and much to the German fans' dismay, it was literally like 2006 World Cup semi-finals where in front of the home crowd, that time it was Italy and this time it was Spain. But again, I think on the day the better footballing side won. To be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. And Danny Olmo came on, of course, for Pedri after his injury in the first 10 minutes, and he was the guy who scored the goal, who scored Spain's opener at least. Impacted the game a lot. Olmo, of course, he put in the cross as well again for Merino's goal. So, Adi, in terms of impact, I don't think you'd want anything else apart from that from a substitute, especially who's coming into the game so early.
Yeah, basically both the substitutes won the game for Spain, right? Because Merino scored the goal, who he also came on, in the end. Same thing with Olmo. I think that Pedri injury, he picked up literally in the beginning of the game, within the first 8 minutes, he was subbed out. You would have thought, okay, now it's game over for Spain, or it could have been tougher. But Olmo the thing was almost more direct than Pedri. I think that helped Spain
Mm.
more because with Pedri, he likes to slow the game down. So maybe if he was still on the pitch, team like Germany would be able to recover the ball quicker or like come back into shape quicker. But almost a guy who likes playing in the spaces much better. He likes playing, attacking the boxes also, and he's more faster. And he's a guy who likes playing on the counter. He's done that with Leipzig, and you've seen him, a guy who can shoot long range shots, and he's pretty dangerous. And he showed that yesterday. And that's what I said. I always felt like, I remember when I told also, like, it's going to be a game of, Spain, can they exploit their wingers, and can Germany exploit the center, the players in the center. And that literally what happened. Because even though, almost the one who scored the goal, I feel like Yamal, the way he created the chance was very important because he
Mm.
drags the players outside from the counter. He dribbles and then drags them out. And then when you're dragging everyone out and your centre backs comes out is where Olmo had that space to play centrally and take a good shot. I still think Neuer could have done better. His positioning was a bit bad. But still, like, scoring the goal at the moment was very important. But bro, to be fair, I still think it was very equal. I looking at the game yesterday, I think it could have been 3-3, 4-4 because both teams played very good. And Germany actually overall in the game had better chances
Had
because
better chances,
I
yeah.
had one or two good chances. Havertz, Fulkrug should have
Fulkrug.
scored in the last minute of extra time. I think that header was a very free header, and he put it
Mm.
out of the target. Kai also had a header. He had a shot, which he tried to chip over the keeper. Fulkrug hit the post also. Word scored, but like I still
Yeah,
think both the teams had a lot of chances. Both teams could have scored like two,
true.
three goals. And I only think the difference maker yesterday was more in the midfield. I think, as Rishi said, Tony Cruz, even Gundogan didn't have a good game, and Chan was, it didn't work out in my opinion.
Mm.
On the other side, you see the way Spain played. The midfielders Fabian Ruiz and Rodri and Olmo, they were incredible because
Oh, bro, did you see that one move where three guys go and press Fabian Ruiz and he just drags the
exactly,
ball inside?
bro,
I
and that
lost my mind.
he was doing that the
Insane.
entire. Yeah, Rahul, remember that? It
Yeah,
was so good. Yeah, dude, like bro, everyone's talking about Tony Cruz last game, greatest midfielder, etc. But he outplayed Tony Cruz to the next level. Like, I- people are saying Roddy sent him to retirement, etc. But really, the outstanding player yesterday in the midfield was Fabian Ruiz because he created so many chances. He played, it was not only creating chances, the way he kept the shape in the midfield, the amount of tackles he was able to win, the way he ran the midfield, and he was doing both defensive work, attacking work at the same time. And bro, I still believe he's the one who was feeding the wingers. He was the one who was always giving the ball to Nico Williams, etc. Without him, I still feel like the Spain side would have been a bit more weaker than what they are. Because we again talking about players like Rodri, talking about the wingers like Yamal, Morata, and Nico Williams. They've been great this Euros, but the real man, what I realized yesterday is Fabian Ruiz because the way he outplayed that end, the way he outplayed all the three midfielders of Germany, it was an incredible performance.
yeah. Fair enough. Kudos to Spain. They're up against France in the semi-final. And Rishi, for France to get there, they had to go through Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal, and Cristiano Ronaldo's come out and said this is his last Euros, nothing else concrete as of yet. We don't know if he's going to feature in the next World Cup. We don't know if he's going to continue with the national team in the near future. But yeah, dude, Rishi, Portugal, where do we stand in Portugal?
Bro, I mean, you can't give us France, Portugal after a Spain, Germany, bro. Like what the hell? The football that was played in both the games is like I'm just watching Spain, Germany. I couldn't take my eyes off it. Like I'm
Yeah.
not even sitting like on the sofa. I'm sitting right in front of the TV so that it's that exciting. It's that beautiful to watch. And France, Portugal, I'm doing everything possible to try to not sleep. It's 12:30, it's 1:30, finally it's getting to extra time. I'm like, dude, what do I
Bro,
do
I
to like
slept. I slept. I'll be honest. I slept after halftime. I couldn't stay awake for that game.
Bro, I for a fact I knew that none of these teams could actually score in open play or anything. I was like, okay, we'll go to penalties, we'll see what happens in penalties. But bro, it took such a toll on me and it tested my patience to next levels. Because every 5 minutes, I'm like, bro, I should just sleep. I should just sleep. This France also there. To be fair, once Dembele came on, he made a world of difference because he started pinning down their centre backs, their full backs. In fact, they're one of their midfielders. They were tripling down on Dembele because he went on, I think, 2 or 3 really good runs, and he, in the end, he ended up feeding someone else. Like twice, he played it to Mbappe, who just shot it either to the keeper and one out wide, and one he took a shot, but it was off target. But I think this was one of the games where Dembele came on and had a really good outing. At least he was looking threatening. But other than that, you can say that all right, France did defensively well. Like they haven't conceded. Like this is such a weird team. They haven't conceded an open play goal. They haven't scored an open play goal.
Yeah, but
Like so
Portugal
far.
haven't scored a goal in their last 3 games.
Yeah. Wait, last 3 games, did they score against
Yeah,
Turkey?
Georgia they didn't score. They didn't
Last
score against, and the
games.
two
Acha,
knockouts.
okay. I mean, yeah, fair enough. But again, France, for all their attacking prowess that they have, like they're playing Marcus Thuram, they're playing Bradley Barcola, they're playing Mbappe. Now, the only attacker who was left to feature was Giroud last night. Like I felt that could have actually made a difference. Like someone who can actually bully someone like Ruben Diaz, who can get quite uncomfortable when he faces a little bit too pacey or a little bit too physical. Like you can get the better out of him. I felt if Giroud came in and then it would have been long because they struggled to build up from the back. After a while, it seemed like Kante was the only one who's getting the ball and trying to literally run through the midfield and cover the distance. I mean, it would have saved them a lot of hassle that way. When if they just played Giroud and just pumped it up top, like that would have definitely been easier for them. And to have an experienced player who can keep their calm in the end, I think that would have also been well. And that is as far as France is concerned. I mean, for Portugal, bro, I don't. It's literally the same. Like from where we spoke last time, I don't think anything has changed. I think the only
Yeah.
positive that Portuguese national team can do is just say that, come with an ultimatum saying that, listen, like Ronaldo is actually holding us back. Like he hasn't gotten anything much to offer. Like right now, he's a really good box presence. You can say you feed him chances, like 1 or 2 touch chances, he can just put them away. But that also I'm not convinced because he's not been able to win the ball. He's not been able to win the headers. So he hasn't scored a single goal from I think 4 or 5 xg. So that's quite shocking. And the team can say that, like he's taking up the set pieces. He's like hampering the build up. He's hampering the pressing. So now they have a reason. Like we went 2 whole tournaments. We backed him completely. We played him almost every game, and this is where we are. And I don't think we can risk another one because their main players are also getting old. Like Bernardo, Bruno, Palinha, they're all Ruben Diaz. They're not youngsters either. So
Yeah.
if you want to test another major tournament with Ronaldo, that would mean pretty much sacrificing the peak of all basically the core of the team. So I don't know if that's really worth it.
And I think like with the thing with the Cristiano Ronaldo is I don't know if he himself wants to continue. Will Adi quick word on Ronaldo because yeah, he himself it seems like he's also, based on whatever he said after the game, it looks like he's also realized that it is time for him to say bye to the national team. He hasn't yet. Do you think he will, Adi? Like now, anytime soon?
Bro, I still think I'll play the World Cup because I think it's only 2 years away from you know where we
Yeah.
are right now. Only thing is it's going to be in US, and I feel like if he plays that World Cup, that's going to be his last World Cup, and I think that'll be his last international game, maybe his last game in both footballing of club and internationally. I still think he's that kind of guy who's you know going to play that
Motivated.
World Cup, get that last glory if he can get it. And I am also sure Portugal as a nation and Portugal FA won't stop that from happening. I don't think they're going to come and intervene saying, retire or, it's either, play at a high level or retire kind of thing. I still think no matter what, as I said, even if he's not the first option, he's going to sit there on the bench. He'll ensure he's there in the World Cup. At least that's a personal feeling because of what I've seen Ronaldo throughout his career. But yeah, bro, that's the thing. I mean, we all knew, coming into the tournament, Ronaldo is old. He can't do the same old pressing, etc. But to be fair, this tournament, he still had a decent tournament. Maybe the only reason we're talking here right now is because he's not scored a goal, any goal this tournament. But when you think about it, like during match play, he still had very good chances. Yesterday, he could have scored 2 goals. Like especially that in the extra time, that one goal which he just shot it like a rocket. I think he should have scored that, at least put it on target. And the same thing previous game also, like he would have scored a penalty, whatever. He had a couple of good headers. In the first game also, he had a couple of good headers. He didn't score. And I think that's what I keep saying. Like, with Portugal, if you get someone else, what else is, who else is going to come and play for him? And if you're going to say it's Goncalves or Ramos or Felix, you're going to get pretty much the same thing in terms of output or in terms of quality, right? I feel like if he scored those couple of goals and scored the penalty, maybe scored yesterday, he would have had 2, 3, 4 goals, and we might have had a different conversation about him saying, "Oh, 39-year-old still doing it." If not for those goals, but I still think he's there. He can do it, at least do to a better extent than other strikers. But again, to be fair, he also got bullied by centre backs this entire tournament. It's not like physically he's been dominant. He's been able to, tussle with centre backs. So it's that thing. Like, if he can score goals, I think it's more like the Haaland debate where, Haaland can score a lot of goals. So you don't talk about his build up play or hold up play, etc. If he can be more clinical, maybe then, Portugal can rely on him more. I think that's the main issue. But to be fair, again, when I watched yesterday's game, also I feel like both teams could have scored a couple of goals, even though the game was 0-0. I think Camavinga had a good chance. Even Portugal had a couple of good chances. But that's the thing, like the difference between the Spain.
Colomani had a really good chance.
Yeah, exactly. That one he shot it outside wide. But the point is, the only difference between the Spain Germany teams versus these two teams, I think it's more about the way the managers let them play. I feel it's more about that because, as I said, we can't go to a France versus Portugal, especially looking at the talent in both the teams. Imagine us coming here and sitting and having a conversation about how boring they've been, how lackluster, how uninspiring they've been. I think again it goes down to the managers, both managers. I think Deschamps, historically we've known he's a very, very safe manager. Same thing with Roberto Martinez. Like, these guys are not people who like taking risks a lot until and unless the situation makes them take risks. And that's what we saw yesterday. Was pretty lackluster because when we watched a Germany Spain game, you could see Nagelsmann taking risks no matter what. And same thing with Luis Del Fonte. He was ready to take the risk of taking his best players out. It was not like, "Oh, you're my best player, I'm going to play you." Both the coaches ensured, like, whatever they thought. At least we're not talking about right or wrong. It's about, okay, the managers are strong enough to take bold decisions, and these two guys will persistently be like, like Deschamps will play Mbappe. He'll play certain players no matter what. The only reason Kamavinga played yesterday, I was surprised because the way he played yesterday. Imagine him playing every game, maybe over Rabiot. I think France's situation would have been different, and it took him till yesterday's game for him to even start Kamavinga. And same thing with Portugal. Like, if he was strong enough to play someone else over Leao, which I still think I had a poor tournament, but he's played all 4 games and done nothing, to be fair. So it's more about managers being able to be more bold. I think, as I said before, also, like, whenever you talk about these teams, the talent's always going to be there. So I feel like it always comes down to the managers and the team managers of each national team to get the best of these talents.
Yep. Fair enough. Yeah, guys, that was our 2 quarterfinals that we had. So, so far, at least at the point of recording this video, it was Spain who progressed against Germany, France against Portugal. Now these two sides will face each other in the semi-final. I think this is the more exciting side of the draw, and you've got on the other side, you've got England, Switzerland, you've got Netherlands and Turkey. So it's going to be a good finish to the Euros. We're excited, and yeah, we'll be back for more Euros content. Like and share the videos, guys, and subscribe to Sports Covering. Let us know if you think either France or Spain can get it done this Euros. See you.